Hello, this is Brian Resney, President of Resney Wealth Management. I'm bringing an important update about the economy and the investment markets, and more importantly about investing and what you should be doing today. As you know, each and every week I usually do an market update about the economy and the investment markets. So really you have a good handle on what we're seeing within not only our economy, but the global economy. That's right, when I talk about investing, we're always talking globally, and we're not only talking about the stock market, we're also talking about real estate and gold and oil and currencies. Unfortunately, many investors have two asset classes in their portfolio, and that's stocks and bonds. In my opinion, that's a huge mistake, but investors tend to buy what they're familiar with, or often if they're working with a broker or so-called advisor, that person usually offers up the dish of the day, which is typically mutual funds or stocks they sponsor or bonds. This lack of diversification not only takes away opportunity, but also can be devastating for your portfolio. The biggest problem, though, investors face right now is really a lack of a real investment strategy. That's right, whether you're a do-it-yourself investor or whether you're using a broker or so-called advisor, you probably do not have an investment strategy in writing that's being followed. I can guarantee if I interviewed 10 individual investors who do their own investing, probably 1 out of that 10 actually has a disciplined strategy that they religiously follow. If you don't follow an investment strategy, you're shooting from the hip and you're basing your decisions on very little research, if any, and really just emotions. If you're working with a broker or a so-called advisor, not a money manager, it's the same thing. Most people have the misconception that their broker at the brokerage house or at the bank investment department, the bank rep, or the insurance agent is actually responsible to manage their money, and that's really not the case at all. Their job is really acting as a broker. While they may have a fancy title, at the end of the day, an investment strategy is the most important thing you need to start with before you actually start investing. Because what is going to dictate what you buy, when you sell, how much, what types of asset classes, and so forth. Hard research goes into an investment strategy, but that investment strategy has to be in writing, in place, and it needs to be followed. Otherwise, you're going to second guess your decisions constantly. You're going to jump from investment, or like a lot of investors who are using brokers, they seldom make changes when a change really needs to be made because they believe they're relying on that advisor or so-called advisor to really dictate what they're supposed to do. That person's on to the next sale. So again, it goes back to an investment strategy is the starting foundation of investment success. If you don't have an investment strategy and you're not following it, then you have no strategy at all, and the best thing you can do is hope for exactly what you've had in the last 5 or 10 years, which is a roller coaster up and down move in your retirement portfolio. The reason I try to educate investors like you every day with these update videos is so you can better your financial position. I've been managing money for almost 26 years, and I can tell you that easily 9 out of 10 investors, whether they're do-it-yourself investors or they're working with a so-called advisor or broker, do not have an investment strategy. The problem is it's hard for most individual investors to make changes to their portfolio because people get complacent, and I understand that. That's why I always tell you, if you're going to do it yourself, then you must have an investment strategy and you must follow it. If you're using somebody to manage your money, make sure it's an actual money manager, a registered investment advisor who actually has a disciplined investment strategy that's being followed. You need to question them on that. You need to see the in writing their investment strategy so you know exactly how your money and if your money is actually being managed. I see the markets volatile, although I'm seeing some great news that came out today with all the central banks around the world pretty much are jumping on board to add liquidity lines for the banks. I see a rise in the stock market, while our indicators right now are triggering a negative sell on the short-term, intermediate, and long-term. We are now getting a reversal in that. I think this is going to be an excellent opportunity if you're following your strategy. Now, ours is our global tactical opportunity portfolio, and we use a relative strength ranking each and every month on that. And we are making some decisive moves within our portfolio. What I would tell you is this: as an investor, when you are the most scared or you're not doing anything, that might be exactly the time that maybe an important change needs to be made for your portfolio. I see the year ending as in a positive note, given some of the things that we're getting out of Washington and around the world today, not only in the job numbers, but inflation, but possible good, decent growth. Not great, but decent growth. China just opened the spigot, and I think they're going to start an easing policy that started last night. This is Brian Resney. Call my office for a consultation. Don't go it alone. It doesn't hurt to get a second opinion. Sit down, find out why our GTOP Global Tackle Opportunity Portfolio can work for you in these volatile times and for your retirement. Have a great day.